Oh, I forgot this. Hi. What?
Hi.
Hello. What's
You're not in there.
There's a
Oh.
few. There's a face you
Hi.
haven't seen before.
Hi.
Are you here? Anybody here? I can
But this one you might have seen.
Yes. Do you see yourself?
It's so fun.
Do you see yourself? Hi,
Hello.
guys.
Welcome.
Welcome to our childbirth education live. As you can see,
I'll turn sideways.
You're good. I know it's hard to get
yes,
too many
3,
people. In
4.
we have an extra here. Oh, and our dad came. Hi, Dad. That is so fun. Oh, Ren says hi. We're so excited you're here. As you can see, we have an extra guest. But first, before we begin, we just want to remind you that our childbirth education course, which is called Unmedicated Birth Academy, closes its doors on our class on
Enrollment.
Sunday. On enrollment, sorry. So you can enroll up until Sunday, and then we close our doors. So if you
for the spring session.
for this spring session, yes.
So great.
So if you are interested in an online birth course, which obviously you don't have a lot of options for another birth course, online's nice because
It's nice.
It's built for, it's not like we scrambled to get you an online course. This was built mindfully for an online course. So we're excited about it. Secondly, this is our mom.
Hi.
This is our mom. So you know what's crazy? Look at us. We are all doulas. Oops. Sorry.
I didn't even notice.
We are all doulas and childbirth educators. Hi, Ashley. So we love our mom. She's actually, her and I certified as doulas together and childbirth educators together. So
Yeah.
It's been super fun. And the cool thing about Ruthie, Ruthie is her name. The cool thing about Ruthie is she really has used her background as an energy practitioner to support all her doula clients and childbirth education clients, and has really created this cool curriculum almost of prenatal bonding. So she's going to teach us some of the things that she's learned through her sessions. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Through her sessions and her experience as a doula, childbirth educator, mother, grandma, all the things. She's going to teach us about bonding.
Yes.
But not just any bonding.
No.
What kind of bonding?
Well, prenatal bonding.
So while the
Yeah.
baby's still in your stomach.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. That is the time to begin.
Yes.
So, well, April,
I know April left.
but
I don't know where she went.
but we can still be snuggling
We'll
here.
snuggle up.
Is that socially okay?
Oh, gosh, guys.
It's okay. We're all in the same family and we're doing this together.
We're doing this together, is right.
Yeah.
So we're excited. So as far as bonding, we want to know any of your questions. Do you have any questions about what it takes to bond with your baby? Maybe some blocks that you might have about really understanding how to bond with your baby, and what you can do to bond with your baby. So if you have comments, concerns, questions, throw them at us. Otherwise, we're just going to kind of get started on.
The volume went way down.
Okay, something's wrong with the sound.
Oh. Do we have sound? Can you guys hear us? Can you hear us?
Oh, hello.
Oh, sorry.
How about now?
Yeah, let us know if you can hear us.
Can you hear us? We don't know if you can hear us.
Might just unplug it if.
Yeah,
We're working with some.
Oh, you can. Okay.
Okay.
So we're okay.
We're working with some microphones just to make sure.
We're so far away. We're so far away to get us all in there. Good.
Talking to my shoulder. Well, let me just give you a little bit of background and then they'll stop me for questions. But I trained almost 20 years ago in emotional release work. And about that time, my oldest daughter was having her first children. And so that was the beginning of my doula work unofficially. I have 19 grandchildren and only 3 births I missed, but I was there and one of them was April, but the other 2 were premature, the ones that I missed, and we weren't expecting to be there at the time. So those were missed. But so birthing, I think, is a passion in our lives. But what I did learn as I was training is that you you hold every experience of your life in your mind, in your field, in your energy field, in your memory, not consciously, but unconsciously. And I think these girls have talked about that. And so all experiences are recorded in a part of you. And there's a memory of that we can access. And the work that I did, or that I do, was really, it involved using kinesiology to help regress an adult to a younger age, and quite often that age would be in the womb. And those, were experiences of discovering emotions and experiences that had happened to them that they had forgotten about consciously, but that had an effect on their lives, as an adult and in present time. So working with those emotions really was a tool to be able to help them to navigate some of the things they were bumping up against as an adult.
Which is really cool when you consider that sometimes, like for me, sometimes I will react a certain way to situations and just be like, what's wrong with me? Or why would I do that? Or why does this bother me? And what she's saying is there's science, there is research that as a fetus, we are completely aware.
Absolutely.
And it can affect
confirmed.
us for our whole life. And so sometimes, maybe we don't really remember consciously, right? But
Right.
subconsciously, things are going on. So it's important then we can't go back in the womb, right? We can't go back there and start over, but we can be aware of our babies.
Yes, and we can access memories of our own birth,
and heal. I think
yes,
heal things like as an adult, as a mother, as a person carrying a baby, your own experience with this new this experience of having your own baby.
And that is really what happened. I realized that if we can take an adult and regress back to the womb to access the information, why not just go straight to the womb?
Yeah.
And that is where I'm not an originator of this kind of thing. I know that there are others that have thought of working with the fetus in the womb. And there are a lot of books, some really interesting studies and books that have been written on the baby in the womb and all of the things that they're aware of. But being able to help a couple, a mother and a father, get to know their unborn child through intuition, through kinesiology, and through just sort of a spiritual experience is priceless. And so that's really what I wanted to talk to you about, and then also give you some information about how you can more fully
which
bond
is really
and connect.
cool. This is like, she's got some amazing stories. She's very gifted in her ability to intuitively sense and connect with people on an energetic level. I think we all do it, and maybe you don't even realize it, but it's like when think about all the times that you've like been around somebody and you're like, I don't know if they like me, or even though they're smiling at you, right?
Yeah.
Or things that like, oh, we just connected on a molecular level, it feels like, right? Like there's ways that we are actually communicating non-verbally.
And to go beyond that, I love, have you had different pregnancies that you craved different things, or you had aversions to, like, you didn't like that, or you
Chicken,
loved something? And it doesn't even have to be food. It could be
music, or people, or smells, or sounds.
And so what we're trying to tell you is you are not separate from your baby, and your baby is not separate from you. And
when they're inside you.
Yes, when they're within you.
When they're within you.
Right, absolutely.
So it's the act of being consciously aware that you and your baby are very connected, and just taking a few minutes a day to really pay attention and to notice intuitively, as well as physically, that your baby is there, can can be healing for you and your baby. So,
well, and be an interesting awareness. Like, just, I mean, this might be some deep stuff for some of you,
a stretch, perhaps.
And for some of you might be like the first time you're exposed to any sort of thought like this. But maybe just keep your mind open for a minute and think about how, like, maybe, just consider, maybe my baby really does feel everything that I'm feeling, and maybe they are processing it this way, and maybe I can help them have a more, like, stable, emotionally stable life if I'm able to connect and stable my own emotions. And more than that, like, Ruthie will get into it a little bit. We talked about it this morning, and honestly, we had like a 2-hour conversation just because, like, it's just so fascinating how our bodies, how our babies react to our own bodies, and within that, they are taking on our own emotions. So maybe you're having a really rough day, and maybe you have other kids, and it's just like you've been going, or you're just kind of riled up. Even if you take a few minutes at the end of the day and communicate with your baby and just say, hey, buddy or little girl, I don't know, however you do, it's awesome if you have a name, and talk to them and just say, hey, this was a tough day. I'm sorry, I lost my temper a few times, and I was angry, and kind of express what you felt during the day. That not only will help you release all of that, but it helps them process that too.
Absolutely. And it helps them learn to know that emotions flow. They are up and down. And yes, I had a hard day earlier and I got angry or whatever, but I'm not angry now.
Yeah.
And now my heart is just full of love, and I just want to express that love to you. Speaking to your baby out loud just like this is a connection, is a bonding experience. But going inside and speaking to the baby is even better. And what I mean by that is just to visualize through a form of meditation that you're able to go into the womb and be with your baby. It's another way to connect. They feel it, and it's you will feel it as well. And it helps you to get a sense of what this baby, what the baby's preferences are, because even in the womb, they have preferences and they can express those. Do you have any questions?
Well, I liked this comment from Danielle. Just said, for those of us delivering soon, emotions are high. I try and talk to my baby and tell her I'm not crying because of her, and that we are going to make it through this. Beautiful. I love that you're communicating, because it can be confusing for a baby, right? It can be like, what happened?
What you are experiencing, this baby has never experienced it before. Right. So there's a lot of fear. In fact, even as you're reading that,
you can feel it.
It's breaking.
Yeah.
My heart is breaking, our heart. Oh, sorry, I just patted them.
It is breaking our heart, because we get it. And pregnancy and birth is an unknown and uncertain, and it's really hard to be in an uncertain place normally. And now we're adding that layer of all the other things with COVID and jobs and all that's going on. So we are here to just honor and support you in your moving through your emotions as effectively as you can with your baby. So I love that you said that. I'm not crying because of you. I'm nervous, but I love that. We're gonna get through this together. The right thing will happen. And Ruthie can give us some tools. And do you want to do that, or do you have something else to talk about?
I wanted to show everyone this book, and maybe those who have done hypnobirthing. In Marie Mongnan's, I can't ever say her last name, but in the hypnobirthing book, there's a reference to this book called Prenatal Parenting, and it's by Frederick, I think, Wirth, W-I-R-T-H. But there is a little section in here that I think is just priceless and really is applicable to right now. And he speaks of faith, prayer, and love being a really important aspect of prenatal parenting and bonding. And right now, when we're feeling so much fear, and many of you mothers are especially empathic during your pregnancies. You do pick up a lot of the feelings that are going around the neighborhood and the family and even beyond. But just as a reminder, all of the studies that have been done on prayer, I don't really need to tell you the science, but there is solid science.
Yeah, there's awesome
behind, how, excuse me, medical outcomes are improved.
Yeah.
But you just think, if you pray with your baby and express your own hope in a space of faith or hope that, your little infant child will come into this world and experience love and healing, and that all of this will have purpose, because all experience has purpose. So anyway, this is a beautiful book where the doctor that wrote the book regressed adults through hypnosis into the womb, and all of the experiences that are written here just confirm that our babies know our emotions. They know things that we're feeling. There are stories of people who have been able to tell verbatim conversation. They've been able to replay or restate conversations that their parents had with each other. So, and just to let you know, please don't be freaked out by that, because what I want to say is, you are the mother and the father that this infant chose to come to. They will have the experience in the womb that they need to have for their own learning and progress or progression and experience in this world. So it's perfect.
It is perfect. And do we have a lot of comments? Do you want to, do you want to say something?
There's been a few questions.
Okay, a few questions. I just wanted to say something like, so when I had my babies, I wasn't super good at bonding. I wasn't really awesome at like taking time every day. Either was my husband. We didn't do the best, just because I don't know, whatever. But I will have to say, a part of me wants to feel bad about it, but the other part of me is just like, it was exactly what needed to happen. So if you haven't been, because once you know better, you do better, right? So that's what we're always offering you every time we do these lives in our childbirth education is, so maybe you haven't really talked to your baby or played with your baby or listened to music with your baby or really like noticed that you were growing a baby, and that's okay. So because you didn't really maybe understand, but now we're going to give you some really great tools and some case studies that, so it matters that you take a few minutes a day.
It makes a difference.
It makes a difference.
Like, so, because sometimes it feels like, oh, they don't know anything. They're babies. They're not even born yet. They don't know. And we hear that all the time. Like, they can't feel pain. But actually they are aware that it makes a difference. And so actually making an effort will give your, it will make it so you have a better bond and have a better situation.
It's true. Do you have anything to say?
Yeah. Okay. So Emily says, how can we apply these principles to help siblings adjust to the work with one another and work with one another? Expecting my second and want to help my toddler understand things will change, but mama still loves her.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
That's really good, because believe me, the infant inside of you is also wanting that bond
and aware of the sibling,
and they're very aware of your interaction with that sibling as well. So, first thing I have to say is the communication that you have with the baby within your womb and the communication you have with them once they're born is different. You can expect that the baby in your womb can understand and absorb everything on your adult level. Then once they're born, they are going to begin to progress developmentally just like a human infant, and that, through all of those stages. So depending on the age of your baby, of the toddler, use the same things that you would, in a way you can use the same things by just talking to them. They may not get it consciously, totally, but they will be able to sense your feelings about it. And so, however you are feeling, being able to express your love for them and your tenderness and involve them in playing with the baby. When your baby in the womb is poking you and
moving.
And she follows that up to say she doesn't feel as connected or bond with this baby because it is her second, and she's trying to keep her other baby outside of her from getting in the permanent marker. So.
Yeah. And that's so true. So you just, I would tell you to think up ways to play games together.
Yeah.
And one of those ways, and as funny as this sounds, is that when the baby in your womb is poking you or kicking, then you call over your toddler and say, let's play with the baby. Because quite often the reason why the baby is poking you is your baby is saying, hey, let's play. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey,
look at me. Look at me.
Yeah, it's my turn. It's my turn.
My turn. I love
Which
that.
you might notice that you will have more movement from your baby at a time when you have started to slow down for the day or slow down for some time, and they're noticing that you are relaxing, and they're like, hey, she's got time for me.
Yeah.
Now I can get her attention.
Yeah.
Yes. So that is really, and I love the idea of, now that we're talking about siblings, I love the idea of, what do you think baby would like to listen to? What kind of music do you think baby wants to listen to? Or what kind of, I don't know, just including your toddler. I don't know if they're old enough to make those choices, but it just would be, it's a neat conversation to already start having, because then it won't be such an abrupt change when the baby comes, because it's, don't touch the baby, don't do this with the baby. But for 9 months, hopefully you've been able to have these conversations, including them together. So then when you have your baby and you have this infant, it still feels inclusive. It still feels.
Yeah, I would add one more thing if I have time.
Yeah.
And that is that I think with the second baby, it's even a little hard for the mom to feel like, how will I ever love another child the way I love this one that
That's
I've had?
real.
So in a way, you're also, kind of torn. Like you're experiencing a little bit of that. How do I connect to this baby, as well as how do I connect my little toddler to the baby? And I think if you think of it as that baby is in your womb, but she or he is still part of your family, and you would never go put your newborn in the crib in the closet and then leave them all day so that you could pay attention to your toddler. So just remember, this is the perfect time to engage that infant growing in the womb as if they were already born or they were already here. So
just kind of go along with that. Amanda says she felt very connected with her first baby and knew very on with her pregnancy. The second pregnancy, she's in her second pregnancy. She hasn't felt that connection yet, and she's 17 weeks. It's actually been a struggle for her. She goes on and says that her first baby was very strong personality, very outgoing, or she is very outgoing, energetic, etc. I keep wondering if maybe this baby is just a lot more mellow, but it's hard not to feel bonded yet.
Yes, and believe me, your baby in the womb can feel that you're bonding with their older sibling, and they, in a lot of ways, they know that that's coming for them. So that's the good thing. But it's very normal, very, very normal to feel that way. But we're trying to just put a little inspiration in your heart to realize, well, now I have 2 babies. Now I have 2, and there are ways that you can get to know the personality of your little one in the womb too before they're born.
Suggestions?
Yeah, do you have suggestions?
Yes. Okay. So
Sorry.
You're looking to me. So when I do a bonding, should I give case experiences or should I just use one of the things that I do when I'm doing a prenatal bonding work with a couple is that we look at some of the preferences that the baby has, and I think that I may have some
Isn't
notes
that
here.
cool? The baby has preferences.
Already has preferences because it's an
And you
individual.
might even notice that if you connect and tune in a little bit, you might notice that like, oh, there's more agitation in their movements when I listen to a certain type of music, or I had a friend that her dogs would always sit like right by her belly, and the baby would always like kick them. I'm gonna kick it. This is my spot.
Or wanting some interaction.
Maybe
liking that
Hey,
connection.
I like the puppy.
Believe me, they love connection. Anything that they can do to get you to pay attention.
But even, I was just going to say, maybe even exercises. Like you might notice your baby moves a lot more when you do yoga versus running, or, or opposite, or, so it just pay attention to your baby's movements, because that is how he or she is communicating to you.
Absolutely. That really
and
is.
even just like you guys you have to know that you have intuition. You like, whether you believe it or not, you are intuitive and you are aware of on an unconscious, subconscious level, what's going on with your baby. And so even like the flashes or thoughts that you get,
believe them.
Pay attention to them, because it's accurate.
Yeah. Even if you think you're making it up.
Yeah, why not?
Go with it.
And ask your baby about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that might seem a little, but honestly, I cannot tell you how many times in my pregnancies that I would just be like, what do you think about this? Like, what should I do? Or maybe I've had a bad day and I'm sorry, it's not about you. How do you feel today? Are you feeling okay? I did it a lot when I would birth during labor. I spent a lot of time visualizing myself in my womb holding my own baby. I know it sounds weird, but
wonderful.
It's awesome. I just I needed to be able to go to a place, and that was a safe place for me, is to spend some time with my baby. And how cool would it be is every night it was you traveled in your mind's eye to your baby in your belly, and you held them and said a little prayer with them, like, or had a little end of day conversation.
Singing songs together, you will feel a response. Either it will really calm them if they're wiggly, or it will give them some excitement. And you will start to feel their patterns. You'll start to notice their responses even before they're responding. That's true bonding, knowing the child and having a connection to their personality even before they were born. But some of the things that we look at are...
This is sweet. I love this. Emily's saying, like, she's saying the movements she's noticed with her daughter felt like Tigger, like she just had a lot of energy, and her son, who she's currently pregnant with, felt more like Winnie the Pooh. All of his movements felt deliberate and informational.
Yeah, very thoughtful.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's
probably
cool.
You see, you're noticing already.
McKenna said she asks her baby to come to her during her dreams, and she had the most amazing dream last night. That's so cool.
We love dreams.
We love.
This was McKenna.
Yes,
McKenna. That is really an important thing. And
I love that.
If mothers have not seen or felt their babies or had dreams about them in spirit form before they were born, don't feel bad. But honestly, it happens. It happens a lot. I didn't even get to some of this.
Okay,
stuff,
sorry. You
go.
You start at the beginning. Do what you.
Okay, but I was going to go back to just some of the things that you can notice. Notice when you're walking.
So this is preferences.
Preferences.
Your baby's preferences.
Because babies, they like. Either they may, let me say it this way. Try some different movements, swaying, dancing, certain music, doing yoga. Some babies really like it when their moms do yoga because they are having some kind of a release at the same time as the mother is, and they're experiencing the endorphins, and they're connecting to you in that way. Some like to go on bike rides because they feel the exhilaration that their mother feels, or, whatever active thing that you're involved in. Just know that your baby is experiencing it with you. So put your consciousness into it. make yourself aware that you're sharing everything that you're doing, and anything that you're doing that brings
Can
you.
you take a bite of that donut?
Yeah.
And
that
it
apple.
tastes so good. That apple. Oh, it's so sweet.
Yeah.
They are enjoying it too. So those are some ways. Babies especially love singing. They love you to sing to them, and doesn't matter whether you think you can sing or not, please sing to them. And I'm not just talking about moms. I mean dads too. I can't tell you how many processes or bonding experiences I've had with couples where it came out that the baby was concerned about the dad. And concerned about the dad because the dad worries when when another baby is coming. He can't help it. He worries. He wonders how he's going to support the child, and so he gets some, he gets into his stuff. And men, as a general rule, are not allowed to really show their, their emotions.
I know. It's hard.
And especially, you might notice that it's harder for men if your husbands are particularly a sensitive human being. It might be even harder for them to bond.
Yeah.
Just because that is intense. They feel
so
it deeply.
They do.
And so have a little compassion, but definitely encourage.
Yeah.
And these are some ways that you can help encourage your partner to connect and bond with your baby, because it matters. Again, it makes a difference.
It does make a difference. So if your partner doesn't love singing, that's okay. If he doesn't like talking, that's okay. Maybe reading, like finding a book that he can read, just some way for that baby to, as he touches your belly.
Yes,
just
as
anything.
he touches the belly, because it's a little harder for him to go into the womb than it is for you.
Yes.
But it becomes more real when he can touch and sense the movement and, feel the movement of the baby, and then begin talking. All you have to do is, I don't know, all men don't really want to say, well, they feel sheepish maybe.
I know, or just like weird. Why would I talk to your belly?
What I did today, but you probably just need to try it and see what works.
There's a few. I think it was Danielle that said that her husband sings to her baby in Spanish almost every night. That's a whole nother level.
There you go. So if he's uncomfortable in English, try a new language.
Do it in another language, and not only singing but praying in another language. And you know what? These little ones, they are so close to that spiritual realm. This is their language. Prayer. They love to hear scriptures. They love to hear you reading those. They love to hear your voice. And we're just talking about your day.
Yeah. And again, it doesn't have to be in all moments. Like, you don't need to be aware all the time, because you're a human being going about your day. Yes. But if you'll take a few really conscious moments, that's it. Like, it really, and then the more you are aware, the more you'll be aware. And then that's even cooler. So I love it. What are some other ways?
Well, I don't know. It's colors. They have color preferences. They can see what is out there while they're in the womb. So color preferences.
Plus, colors have a vibration.
Yes.
Each of them have vibrations.
It's the language of vibration, because it's color, music, word, voice, maybe tone.
Foods that you eat, tastes.
Oops, sorry.
Love that, Abby.
Oops.
Oh,
okay, sorry.
Are we back?
We're back.
Yes, foods that you eat and the tastes, even the response, the reaction, chemical reaction in your body has an effect on them. Touch, of course, obvious. You've heard of the 5 love languages, and there is a book written, The 5 Love Languages of Children, and for the moment, I can't remember the name of the author. If you haven't read the book, or haven't
Has
heard
anyone read it? 5 Love Languages of Children. Give me a thumbs up if you've read it. Maybe for your current children.
Maybe if you have not read it.
Yeah.
Well, it's very similar to the 5 love languages, and maybe you've heard of them. Whether or not you've read the book, it's physical touch, quality time, words of affirmation, service, and
gifts.
Gifts. Gifts is not my love language. I just worked it out.
But there are 3 of those that your baby in the womb that you can actually connect to them through physical touch, of course, and even that's you touching your womb. I've seen women sitting just massaging their belly, and
So
that is
cool.
so nurturing to a baby that loves physical touch. And every baby loves physical touch.
Yes.
And then the
Words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation. So sorry. Words of affirmation and quality time are kind of do go together, but the words that you speak specifically to the child do enter in and are received by them in their hearts as love from you. So, I mean, we've kind of talked about all of this. There are sometimes fears that a mother will carry over from her birth, and her experience in the womb to her pregnancy
experience.
And those are seem to be known by the baby, and sometimes those are things that need to be cleared. And there are fear releases that can be done through meditation and through visualization. Yes. And so if you are experiencing some fears and that you know those are affecting you, do find someone or what would you girls recommend?
Which we have we go into fear release and
visualizations, guided imagery in our course. We have a whole section in our course about bonding, specifically prenatal bonding and once the baby is born, both. And then also we have visualizations and guided imageries to go with those as well. They're in our course, which is really cool. But then there's also neat things like practitioners like Ruthie that will facilitate if you don't really know where to go, or there really is a block that you feel like there's more to it. There are practitioners that will do bonding.
And maybe something that you might want your partner involved in.
Yes, you'll want your partner involved in.
Then maybe seek out a practitioner.
Yeah.
Autumn actually had the question. She said, what do you think about dreams of babies before pregnancy?
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. Did you want to say something about that?
No. These two
She
is the dreamer. We've got some cool experiences.
Yes. These I want to just turn you on to these books. This one's called Soul Trek by Elizabeth Hallett, Hallett.
And don't worry, if you are subscribed to our emails, we'll make sure to have to put all the book recommendations in the email on Thursday.
Stories of the Unborn Soul. These books are entirely personal stories of people who have been visited by their babies in dreams or before they were born. Yeah,
so cool.
in spirit form, and they're beautiful stories. And
have we told them about your twins' dream experience?
Oh, have we? I feel like we have. She dreamed about my twins before they are my third and my fourth, before my first was even born.
Well, they came to me
in the night. Yes, they came to her.
And they stood at the foot of the bed, and the little boy was in front of the little girl. Or the little girl was in front of the little boy. No?
Yeah.
Is that how it went? And then she moved and went in front of him. And I said, somebody's going to have, And so I said, somebody's going to either have twins or we're going to have a little girl first and then a little boy. So her babies were in opposite position. The little boy was in position.
So this was way before she had twins.
Oh, way before.
And then Alina found out she was pregnant with twins. And then at the same time she found out she was pregnant with twins, she found out that she was having a boy and a girl.
Yeah.
But the boy was
in position A and the girl was in position B. So I called her and I was like, oh, Mom, you called it. I'm having twins. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. You're amazing. I'm having twins. And then she says, and I say, so he's baby A and she's baby B. And Ruthie says to me, no, the girl comes first. And I was like, Mom, you had a dream about I was having twins. Like, call it a success. And she's like, no, the girl comes first. I'm like, whatever. So 2 weeks before I had my babies, the little girl just
slipped in front of him.
Snuggled and she came first. So isn't that cool?
Cute?
I know. And this is not her first dream experience about her grandchildren. So if you're a dreamer, that's awesome. That's super cool. I'm not a dreamer. I don't even ever anyway. It's not my thing.
You know what? That's not true.
Oh, that's true.
Don't let her kid
Guys,
you.
I had a weird blackbird dream the other day. We'll talk about it
We'll
later.
talk.
Dreams. We should do a
I
whole
know,
dream
we
one.
should.
Especially because Emily said her daughter visited her before she was born. I was engaged to another man, and she came to me and told me she couldn't come to my home if I married that man, and that he would take care of me. And he
Oh
wouldn't
my
take care of
gosh.
me. Oh.
That's powerful.
Wow.
That's super cool.
Brianna said, I had a dream about my first when I was 16. I knew his name, weight, height, and dark brown hair. Oh my goodness. You guys are so amazing.
This.
Holy cow.
Yes. And mind blown. I love it. I should have known you all have amazing teeth. Emily.
But the weird thing is she's never had braces, and we
all
had
of us.
extensive braces.
You haven't seen their dads. Hi, honey. He's watching.
Hey, Dad, we got it from our dad.
He's got beautiful teeth.
It's true. They
Emily, you're
great,
so
but-
nice.
Oh, you guys are the best.
But I just think that just being aware that, again, your babies are there.
Yeah.
They're there. They're around.
They're real.
And so connect to
Yes.
them.
And just making a small effort is all that they want and all that they need, and then it can grow from there. So we hope you leave this live feeling not regretful
Or
about or
guilty.
guilty or anything. We want you to leave with some hope and some tools, music, talking, singing, colors, physical touch. All of it matters. Anything that you can do, anything you feel comfortable doing.
And just use your intuition, really, truly.
Yeah.
Just like as you move through your day, just pay attention.
Just pay attention
to your thoughts.
And if you're in a position with you and your partner where you really feel blocked from your baby, Ruthie said she would be willing for a limited amount of people. Are you still willing?
Sure.
She has some time. If you want to DM us, she will create some hour appointment. She's $100 for an hour, and if you
she does them on Skype, and
She does them on
are really
Skype,
cool.
yeah.
As far as
They're
like, she
awesome.
goes into like your baby's purpose
yeah,
and what are some other
and
things,
helping
and, like,
you
helping you and your partner
Yeah,
connect and
to
bond
connect.
to their baby, and understanding baby, like the communication between all three of you.
Yes.
And
which is so fun and it's really important. And so again, if you feel like there's something you can't move through, then DM us. We'll give you the information. Secondly, our giveaway for this week is really fun. We're actually going to give away the book, The 5 Love Languages for Children. We don't have it on us, but whoever is here gives us a comment and is subscribed to our email newsletter, you will be in the drawing for the 5 love languages, and we will deliver it to your house. But 5 love, 5 love languages for children specifically. And it will give you some great insight into maybe the kids you already have, as well as the ones that are not even here yet. So we're thankful for you. Thanks for joining us. And we love this. We're so thankful for our guest.
yes,
She's our first guest.
She's a smart lady,
Thank
and
you.
we'll have to have her on again because she's got some amazing experiences and some really amazing insights.
Yes.
As you can see, she's a little nervous. I'll have to say.
I
I'm
know.
like,
We didn't get our nervousness from her.
They are not nervous.
We're not nervous.
but she did great, right?
Yes.
Like, she's so good.
It was her first live ever,
thanks.
right? Is this your first live?
Yes, absolutely.
Give her a hand, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank
But I just
you,
want to make
girl.
sure that, okay.
Oh, do we have any more questions?
Yeah. Thank you so
We're at
much. Oh,
45.
I know. I just wanted to make sure we didn't miss anyone. Come back anytime, Mama Ruthie. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, can I talk my baby into coming sooner
Try it.
before the
I don't know.
hospitals go into further lockdown?
Yeah.
You could try it.
Danielle,
honestly, if
try
you,
it.
yeah, just go in there, talk to your baby, explain the situation.
Why not? Sky's the limit.
Yes, and Autumn, yes, infertility is really rough, and so
I'm sorry.
You can still bond with your unborn babies,
Yeah.
and those that are you will be mothering.
Yep.
So they're there.
We love you guys. Thank you so
Love
much
you.
for being here. Have a great week, and we hope to see more of you in Unmedicated Birth Academy.
we're so excited for the ones that are joining us.
Yes.
Okay.
It's so fun.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, that was